What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we're going to take a look at the team that I've been using this week so far with a Shadow Gyarados, Lapras, and Giratina altered. Now, this team wasn't made by me, it was made by a fellow member of the community, Homeslice Henry, so shout out to him. Thank you for making this team for us. It's really awesome. You guys can use normal Gyarados if you don't have a Shadow, and you can use Dragon Breath if you don't have Dragon Tail. That's what Homeslice Henry used, but I wanted to use my Shadow Dragon Tail Gyarados. It still performs well and it's a lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this team and these battles. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, getting into this first battle here, we have Gyarados on the lead versus Togekiss. Not a very good matchup for us, but with the shadow damage that we have right here, the added damage, and the Aqua Tails, we can actually potentially force a shield here from Togekiss. So this is going to be very, very close. If they sneak a fast move through, we cannot get to 2 Aqua Tails, which is very tough for us, but thankfully they didn't, which means we are going to be able to get to one right here. This is going to put a lot of pressure on them to shield because it's going to be very close if it KOs and we do get a shield, which is beautiful for us. This means we can bring in the Lapras and hard farm right here. So we're going to go ahead, let this charge move go through. It's probably going to be Ancient Power, which does do super effective damage, but honestly, it's not that bad, and we can just farm down, have loaded energy, and a 2-to-1 shield advantage with probably their hardest counter to Giratina altered off the table. It's not off the table. They have double charm, which I noticed a lot, and it's very confusing because there's a charm on the lead, a charm in the back, and then something else, maybe a Giratina altered or an Empoleon or something. So we have to take out this Charmer right here. Obviously, we're just going to keep going for Surfs in this matchup, and hopefully we can get to one more in time. Yes, we can. This is either going to take it out or get the final shield. Either way, I'm swapping straight into Giratina altered so that I can save Lapras for a potential sack swap endgame, considering I do have 2 shields. Now, we also get the Dragon Claw as well, which means this is going to force the shield from them, or they're just going to go down, and they do go down, and the final Pokemon is going to be a Giratina altered, which is perfect. We have the advantage because we do have quite a bit of health left and 2 shields, plus Dragon Claws do super effective damage, so that is basically going to be a good game right there. Double charm teams are very hard to handle, especially when you have nothing that resists it on the team, right? None of our typings resist, so charm can tear through this team. You guys will see multiple double charm teams that we do face off against and how we handle it. This one right here, it's going for those Aqua Tails, it's coming in with Lapras, loading up on energy, and because we saw Giratina altered, that being in the back, they wouldn't have brought it into Lapras, which really benefited us. So that is going to be a good first game, and let's go ahead and get right into the next one here. Alright, moving to this next game, we have Gyarados on the lead versus Articuno. Another tough lead to deal with because they're doing quite a bit of neutral damage with Ice Shards and Icy Wind. And in this matchup, I like to just go straight for the Aqua Tails right here. I could build up and go for the Crunch, but I find that I can get to 2 Aqua Tails pretty quickly and make sure I get that guaranteed damage in before they do get to Icy Wind. I will shield as well right here because what I'm looking to do is potentially win this matchup. If I can. As you guys can see, Dragon Tails are doing a lot, and I can get to that next Aqua Tail in time. This is going to be forcing the shield from my opponent right here, and they do decide to shield, which is perfectly fine by me. And I can either look to let go right here and farm down, or I'm going to let go right here and come in and farm down with Lapras so that I have some really nice loaded energy from the back. Because again, this is looking to be the final or the only Pokemon potentially that's going to be a counter to Giratina altered. But we have Obstagoon, so things are getting very tough. Obstagoon core breaks Lapras and Giratina altered, but it can't core break it by itself because of the damage that comes from Ice Shard, Surf, and Dragon Claw. My backline can still handle an Obstagoon right here. We are going to see the Cross Chop come through. It does some nice, super effective damage, but honestly, Lapras is so thick. And mine is not XL. It's a near hundo, I think 96%, 15, 14, 14. As you guys can see over there, if you have XL, it's just going to be that much more bulky. Now, I do need to swap into Giratina altered right here because I don't know what they have in the back, and I possibly could need Lapras with that extra health and Ice Shards in order to take it down. Now we will be taking quite a bit of damage from Night Slash, so I'm going to have to shield the second one. The reason why I didn't shield the first one is I thought I could potentially get to that Dragon Claw in time, because Dragon Claw right here is going to do enough neutral damage in order to take it out. So we'll have to see how this plays out. They decide to shield. So they are weak to Giratina Altered in the back, and they really want this Obstagoon to take down as much health as they can. But thankfully I do get to another one in time. This is why I like running with Shadow Claw variant. And we do see the final Pokemon is going to be a Swampert. So this game is not over yet. Swampert does have access to Earthquake, which does quite a bit of neutral damage. But they decided to pull the trigger early right here and go for Hydro Cannon. Maybe not knowing it's not going to do too much damage. And this is just going to allow my Giratina Altered to constantly spam Dragon Claws. Maybe they could have thrown the Earthquake. But either way, I think we're sitting ourselves in a good position right here, considering we have Dragon Claws. We're near a Surf, I think maybe 2 Ice Shards away on our Lapras. So things are looking very good. So even though it was kind of a tough lead with Articuno and we faced off against Obstagoon in the mid game, we're still able to pull it out because this team is just that bulky and that strong with the coverage on the meta. So we do get to the Surf in time. This is going to take out the Swampert, and that is going to be a good game, very well played to my opponent right there. All right. We have Gyarados on the lead versus Giratina Altered. So this is somewhat of a winnable matchup for us, especially since we're running Dragon Tail. And if you're running Dragon Breath as well, it's pretty solid. Crunch is what they really have to look out for. And Ancient Power is what you need to look out for. Now, I wasn't counting successfully in this battle, so I just decided to shield. Could have known that, hey, that's just going to be a Dragon Claw right there, but we're just going to go ahead and go for the Crunch right away. I want to get that shield back from them, which we do, or I would have landed it, and this would have been a really nice lead matchup. Now, I'm going to go ahead and let this go. When it comes to the 1-to-1 shields right here, what I can do on Gyarados, because Dragon Tail is doing so much damage, is build up to Crunch and then go for Aqua Tail. This is going to be resisted and barely not going to be able to take him out, but it can put pressure on that final shield, and we do get the final shield, which is beautiful. This again is going to allow me to take shield advantage, even though I do lose lead, come in with that Lapras and load up on energy, as Ice Shards are doing super effective damage, and we can get basically a Surf coming out of this. Now we don't know what's going to be in the back, and hopefully they don't have a hard counter to Giratina Altered, so we'll have to see how this plays out. So Giratina goes down, we'll have to see what they bring in, and they are going to bring in an Empoleon. So kind of a tough situation right here, because Empoleon, even though it's not going to do too much damage to Lapras, we ourselves are not doing too much damage to Empoleon. So this is going to be very interesting. Now also, they decided to bring in Empoleon into this matchup, which tells me maybe they're weak to Lapras in the back, so I need to swap out and try to draw that thing out. So we're just going to go ahead and start loading up on energy, and sure enough, they have a Sylveon in the back. That is very unfortunate for us. I was hoping it wasn't going to be a Charmer in the back. Anything else we could have potentially handled. Heck, maybe even an Obstagoon we could have handled. But a Charmer is going to be very tough. Now, running Shadow Sneaks right here does neutral damage because the Dragon Claw is going to be resisted by the Fairy typing. So hopefully we can get this thing low. The game is still not over. We have quite a bit of health on Lapras, and we will be resisting some of the moves there on Empoleon. So hopefully we can pull off something here. Now I'm going to go ahead and go for Surf. This is going to do quite a bit of neutral damage, but not enough really to take out a Sylveon because it's kind of bulky right here. So we're going to have to farm down with Ice Shards and pray that we can get to 2 more Surfs, maybe 3 against this Empoleon. They also have some loaded energy as well. We do have a shield, so this is going to be a very close match. Now, as you can see, the Surfs don't do too much. They do get to the charge move, but thankfully I have a shield, and it takes 5 waterfalls for an Empoleon to get to a charge move, so this is going to be a very close game. We can get to the next Surf in time, and now it's going to be a race between the damage of waterfall, the damage of Ice Shard, and the charge move right here. So let's see if we can pull this off. No, we go down to waterfall right there, so that is going to be a good game. Very well played to my opponent. All right. Moving into this next one, we have Gyarados on the lead versus Scizor. Shiny Scizor at that. Really cool shiny. But again, this is one of those neutral matchups on the lead where we can actually win this one because of just the raw damage from Dragon Tail and landing Aqua Tails. That we can come out with a lot of loaded energy right here. So we're going to go ahead and land it. That's beautiful. I'm now going to commit to winning this lead matchup right here. So I will let this first Night Slash go. It doesn't do too much damage, but I'll shield the second one right here. because if you know they're going for Night Slashes, you always want to shield the second one if they're going to be throwing 2, because the first one could give the boost, right? So we will just commit to the farm down right here, and we have lots of loaded energy. Now, Gyarados with loaded energy versus a backline like Cresselia is extremely deadly. We will be forcing shields, we will be chunking health, and potentially getting debuffs because we have so much energy. So we did get a shield right there, which is beautiful. We do get to another crunch in time. I'm not going to try to throw Aqua Tails for shield baits because I'm trying to apply that debuff as well while doing super effective damage. Now, they decide to throw their energy right here, which is beautiful, perfectly fine by me. I'll be coming in with Giratina Altered and looking to basically get to a Shadow Sneak as quick as I can. Now, I need to be careful of them swapping as well to catch the charge move, but they will throw a Moonblast. Now, I'm going to let this go. I don't know what's in the back, but Giratina doesn't have to shield this in order to win this matchup. I may need to shield the second one. So we're going to go ahead and throw that Shadow Sneak right here. This does do super effective damage. Again, that Psychic typing there on the Cresselia, and they decide to shield as well, which tells me they're weak in the back, and sure enough, there's actually a Giratina Altered in the back, which is very nice. Lapras can handle this with ease, especially since we have Ice Beam. Now, if you don't have Ice Beam and you have Surf and Skull Bash, it's going to be a lot tighter of a matchup because you're obviously not doing super effective damage, but the Ice Shards really add up. Now, I'm going to go ahead and let Lapras overload a bit on energy so that I can take out the Cresselia as well. And then we're just going to go for this Ice Beam right here. This is basically going to do a ton of damage. Even though they're both tanks, it's still some really nice damage. As you can see, we can farm down right here with Ice Shards, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played to my opponent. So some of those neutral leads that Gyarados can win, you can load up on that energy and apply so much pressure to the backline because Gyarados is such a hard-hitting machine in this meta with Aqua Tail and Crunch and Dragon Tail that it just has to be respected. So that is going to be a good game, very well played to my opponent. All right. We have Gyarados on the lead versus Poliwrath, another one of those nice neutral matchups. We will probably have to shield an Ice Punch right here, which is most likely what they're going to be running. Considering this is open Ultra League, having Ice Punch is probably ideal considering the Togekiss and the Giratina Altereds. So we are going to have to shield one of these. Now, I am going to go for the Aqua Tail right here to try to put some pressure. It's obviously Crunch and Aqua Tail are going to be resisted. And they decide to no shield right there, which is fine by me. So what I'm going to look to do is fully farm down. I will have to give up a shield. I'm not going to shield this first one because I don't know if they can actually get to another one in time, but I think they can if they're like 2 fast moves away or 1. So I will have to shield this one and then now fully farm down. And same like before with that Scissor matchup, I have so much loaded energy that whatever decides to come in, like an Armored Mewtwo right here, which decided to swap in, which means they are now switch locked, I can throw this Crunch right away and then swap out into my Giratina Altered. We also got the defense drop, which is very huge. Now, when it comes to Giratina Altered versus Armored Mewtwo, you don't need to watch out for something like a Shadow Ball like normal Mewtwo has or an Ice Beam. It's going to be these Side Strikes, that's a legacy move, or potentially Rock Slides if they don't have legacy moves. That's going to be doing neutral damage, but not too much. And considering we got the debuff as well, we are looking very solid. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Dragon Claw now for neutral damage. They are low enough where this is going to take them out. It's going to put pressure on them to shield, and there's going to be a no shield right there, which is fine. So we do see now an Alolan Muck come in. Alolan Muck is a very strong Pokemon for this meta, but considering how much damage these Dragon Claws are going to be adding up, because they're going to try to overfarm. That's what the Muck needs to do right now in this situation. When it's a 1-to-1 shield, they need to really overfarm on energy, but Giratina Altered can really take advantage of that by spamming these Dragon Claws. We already got it to 50%. We still have our Lapras, we still have Gyarados with a little bit of energy as well, and their Poliwrath is extremely low with no energy. So things are looking pretty good. We're going to let Giratina go down. We're going to bring in the Lapras right here, load up on energy, and I'm anticipating them probably swapping into Poliwrath right away once they throw this charge move. So we'll have to see what they decide to do. Sure enough, they do. So we bring in the Gyarados to Dragon Tail down, and then we should be able to get to the Aqua Tail right here. This is going to either get the shield or take out the Muck, and then Lapras does have a Surf, and it's going to do the same. So they decide to let it go, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played to my opponent. All right. Moving into this next one, we have Gyarados on the lead versus Roserade. Spicy pick right here, but you can't sleep on the damage from Grass Knot or Leaf Storm, so I need to be very very careful. Now, thankfully, Dragon Tails are doing a ton of damage, so we're just going to go ahead and shield the first one, and they do decide to go for the Weather Ball shield bait, so that's a good shield bait by them, but I'm going to go ahead and go for the Aqua Tail shield bait myself. I will give up 2 shields right here, just like the other matchups we've seen before, where I'm going to just farm down because I can apply so much pressure to the back end. So I will give up the second shield right here and look to commit to the farm down. Now, they decided to throw Grass Knot, which is beautiful. That is going to be the higher energy move, and they get to another charge move, but this was a bit quick, so it probably should just be a Weather Ball right here for resisted damage. So we are at a 0 to 1 shield now, but we have a lot of loaded energy. They decided to bring in Togekiss, which is obviously a very strong pick in this meta, but thankfully we have 2 Aqua Tails ready to go to put pressure. We do get a shield as well, so Lapras coming into this matchup is going to be very nice, and considering I'm hoping they don't have double Charmers in the back, but let's see what we can do. We're going to go ahead and bring in the Lapras. We should see them swap out at some point, but they're deciding to stay in, so I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Surf right here. This does neutral damage, and hopefully it does just enough to be able to take it out, but I'm going to have to do one more Ice Shard, which is fine. Let's see that final Pokemon. It's going to be a Swampert, so that's going to be a good game. We have Giratina altered in the back. We have Lapras with loaded energy. There's really nothing they can do right here. So that Gyarados on the lead, again, taking those shields, farming down, and then putting pressure on that second Pokemon that they bring in is very huge for us to be able to close late game with Lapras and Giratina altered. So Earthquake barely doesn't take us out. We're going to swap right in Giratina altered so they don't farm us down for energy, and then just go for these Dragon Claws right here. And that is going to be a good game to my opponent. So thankfully, I took the lead right there because having Giratina altered versus Togekiss would have been a very bad matchup for us in the mid game. So they're going to go ahead and fight the good fight, go for the Earthquake right here, but we both know that this game is over. But well fought to my opponent, GG's. Gyarados on the lead versus Melmetal. Alright, this is the tough one right here. What I'm going to try to do is time the swap into Giratina altered on their 5th Thundershock, but they decided not to throw, and then they decided to throw, which is fine by me. But it's a team effort to take down a Melmetal. It's definitely tough, and they decided to bring in their own Giratina altered. So what we're going to do here is obviously just go straight for Dragon Claws. Hopefully we can look to get shield pressure from them, because that's what I really need right here. I cannot take switch advantage because it doesn't matter. I don't have like something like Obstagoon in the back, or a Machamp, or a Swampert, right? I have 2 Pokemon weak to Melmetal, so I need to get myself shield advantage. So we're going to go ahead and throw another Dragon Claw right here. This is where I hope I get the shield, and we do. So this is good, but I make a mistake right here, and you guys are going to see. I decide to throw the Dragon Claw. I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do this because this is going to get them too low. I need energy, and that is so unfortunate. I need energy on Lapras, so I should have just let that go. Should have just undercharged it maybe, because I could have gotten potentially a second shield. But I really needed Lapras to come out of here with basically maybe 6 Ice Shards, so a Surf and a half. Would have been ideal, because that Melmetal is going to be a problem still. Now we'll have to see what the final Pokemon is going to be, because they're probably going to keep Melmetal for Gyarados, and it is going to be a Cresselia. So this is definitely going to be tough. And this Cresselia as well has Grass Knot. That charge move was far too quick to be Future Sight or Moonblast, so it is going to be Grass Knot, which is going to be so tough for us. I'm going to have to swap into Gyarados now to see if I can pull something off, and I'm going to go for the Aqua Tail right here for the shield bait. I'm hoping they decide to throw their final shield, which would be huge for me, but they don't. So that is really, really unfortunate here. Now I do get to another Aqua Tail in time as well. Again, hoping to force that shield from them, because I can easily double shield and farm down, but they don't shield. So this is not looking good. We're going to have to shield right here. Hopefully they don't have 2 Rock Slides and I can do one more Dragon Tail, but the Dragon Tail is not enough damage. Look at that. They have 1 HP in a Dream, so that is very unfortunate. I will have to shield. If we were able to take out that Melmetal with 1 more HP, we would be sitting very, very good for this matchup, because we would be able to get to 2 crunches. So we're going to go for the Aqua Tail shield bait. This is hopefully going to get a shield, which it does, and I'm going to swap now into Lapras, because I need to do as much surf damage as I can. Plus, I can't really time a sacrificial swap, because I need Lapras to get off these Surfs in order to potentially win this game. So it's going to be up to my opponent if they're going to make a misplay by under farming right here on Cresselia, but they're going to play this, I think, pretty well. So they do decide to throw their charge move. This is going to be Grassnod that takes us out, and now it's going to be a race to see if we can get to the Aqua Tail in time. It's going to be extremely close. No, they do have enough energy right there, so they did overfarm, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played to my opponent. Man, that Melmetal living with 1 HP was very crucial for them. All right. Moving into this next one, we have Gyarados on the lead versus Sylveon. Again, another Charmer on the lead, so we need to stay in this matchup and just try our best to chunk it down, then bring in the Lapras right here. So we're going to go ahead and throw Aqua Tail. Crunch is resisted because of that Fairy typing. These Aqua Tails are going to do some nice neutral damage, but unlike Togekiss, Sylveon can tank 2 Aqua Tails, which is very tough for us. This means that we actually won't be applying any shield pressure to them, which is very unfortunate, and they decided no shield right there. They can survive, but they did throw their energy. That is beautiful for us. This is huge. This means that they cannot get to another Psyshock, so we can bring in the Lapras right here and farm down. Now we have energy advantage, and we'll have to see what they have in the back. They decide to bring in Giratina Altered, and I'm like, wow, okay, I'm gonna go straight for this Ice Beam right here. They might not be anticipating an Ice Beam as well, and we do land it, which is beautiful. So we can now basically commit to the farm down, and we'll have to see what is going to be in the back. So I'm going to go ahead and shield. It is going to be Ancient Power as well, which is nice. But I will commit to this farm down, or not commit to the farm down, sorry. Throw the Surf right here to put shield pressure on them to see if they actually want to shield, and they do. So they are potentially weak in the back to Lapras. So I think I decide to shield this final Ancient Power, but it's actually going to be a Dragon Claw shield bait. But I should be able to farm down right now with Ice Shards, which I can. Beautiful. Now what is the final Pokemon going to be? It's going to be another Charmer. It's going to be a Clefable this time. So this is tough. This Clefable is probably XL. It has a shield. Yeah, it is XL. $24.99. That's XL and a half. So it does have a shield still. We can get 2 Surfs off, and I can't let them charm me down, so I have to swap now into Giratina Altered versus a Clefable, an XL Clefable. So you guys can tell I'm getting absolutely shredded right here. But thankfully, we still have a shield. Clefable cannot get to spam charge moves very quickly, and we have a lot of health. So I should be able to safely, or actually I don't have a shield left. My bad. I have no shields left. Meteor Mash is not enough to take us out, and I do get to the Dragon Claw in time. This is going to be resisted, and hopefully it's going to be enough to take out the Clefable. It's not, so now it is going to be up to Lapras right here to get off 1 Ice Shard, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. So again, another very close battle right there with double charm teams. Alright, moving into this next one, we have Gyarados on the lead versus Talonflame. This is a very solid matchup for us. One of the best leads that you can face because you are going to be forcing so many shields. Now they decide to swap out into Articuno, so I'm going to go ahead and throw the Surf right here. I don't necessarily need the Surf on the back end for Talonflame because I'm going to come in with Lapras right now, which I will be able to have a Surf on the back end for. Now, if this Articuno has Ancient Power, this is definitely going to be a tougher matchup, but they decide to throw right away, and it is going to be Ancient Power, so this is going to be tough. Hopefully they don't get any boosts as well, but this also means that if they're going for Ancient Powers, my Surf and Ice Shards are going to be doing the same amount of damage because Icy Wind would lower the attack, right? So we land it right there, which means we can now fully commit to this farm down. I don't need to give up a shield as well. You shouldn't be shielding, yeah. I don't need to give up a shield right here. They decided to go for the Icy Wind, which is fine, but I can have so much loaded energy, and if Talonflame decides to come back in, it's bad news bears for them. Now, there's actually an Umbreon, so this is very ideal. I can Surf spam right here, and I actually think I'm going to be swapping into Gyarados because I want to clear the debuff and save the Lapras for Talonflame, and this also forces them to have to stay in this matchup, right? They cannot swap Talonflame into the Gyarados right here, which is going to allow my Giratina Alter to line up against the Talonflame. So Foul Plays come through. It does a lot of damage right there, but it is all fine by me. I can just throw this next Aqua Tail. I think I decide to shield this as well because I want to do more damage with Dragon Tail. Yeah, I do decide to shield. I'm going to go ahead and just load up on energy, and then now throw the Aqua Tail. This is going to start putting pressure on them for that final shield, right? There's still only a Talonflame in the back, we do get the final shield, and we see the Talonflame now come in, and I barely don't get to an Aqua Tail. So I think I decide to shield because I do have an Aqua Tail locked and loaded, so I'm going to go ahead and throw that. This is going to do a lot of super effective damage, and then I can swap back into Lapras right here and farm down. So I do decide to fully farm down right there, and then I have 2 Surfs ready to go for Umbreon. So we didn't even need Giratina Altered in that game, which is very nice for us, but that's what happens sometimes with this team, is this team all does well against Talonflame, which is very good. And thankfully, the Umbreon wasn't able to get on top of my Giratina Altered. So that is going to be a good game, very well played to my opponent. And I believe that was the final one. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This team, again, is very strong. It was made by Henry, so shout out to him. I'll put a link down to his channel down in the description. You guys can go check out his videos as well. So like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.